guys, it's Serbear, and I have a lot to talk about today, like a lot. But first I have some shout outs, because people have been really supportive lately actually. The first one goes to Anthony Corvini, who, I know that sounds like a boy's name, but he's actually a girl. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, he's actually a girl, it's a secret. And I just wanted to give him a shout out because he suggested that I make a video about what real love is, what I think real love is. And that's it's like the third real recommendation that we have gotten, and it makes me really happy. So thank you. And the second shout out is to Sean Riley for supporting our channel and making us happy. So thank you for that. But instead of making the video about love today, which was my original idea, first of all, I don't think I really mentioned this that much on this channel. I think I might have mentioned it once, like briefly in the video about me. But I'm a type 1 diabetic, and today has been a kind of bad day diabetes-wise for me. I've had a lot of high blood sugars and just haven't really been feeling that great. So I thought I would make a more educational video because I think there's so many people out there, it's crazy, who don't understand a thing about diabetes. There's so many things that are like stereotypical and just completely incorrect, and they can be really mad and frustrating. So anyway, I hadn't been feeling too well today, and I'd been out all day, and then I finally came home and I was like, you know what? I just need some support. So what I did was I went on YouTube and I looked up YouTubers with diabetes, and I found this channel, and it's Diabetic Danica, and it's this girl who has diabetes, and she's really good at explaining things, and she kind of gave me some ideas. So yeah, this is kind of because I saw that. But I just felt obligated to make a video because there's so many misunderstandings, and I just think diabetics are kind of sick of it, to be honest. And I think there's a lot of diabetics who don't have any diabetic friends in their lives or people that they can talk to for support. So I think the more diabetics that make videos or say, hey guys, you can always come to me for support, the better. Because it's like, what is it? 3 million kids are like diagnosed every day or something crazy like that. So there's actually a lot of people that have it, but even more people that really are so ignorant and really just don't understand, or are just really curious and don't understand. So I thought it would be a good idea. Yeah. So the first thing is that there's so many misunderstandings, and the main one is that all diabetics are fat. No, that's not true at all. Okay, let me break it down for you. There's two types of diabetes. The first one is type 1. It's not hard to figure out. Type 1 diabetes, and that's the kind that I have. And the other one is type 2. Type 2 diabetes. And with type 1, it's an autoimmune disease, which basically means that your body was being annoying and decided to attack itself. And what it attacked was this little area on your stomach, and that's called your pancreas. And what your pancreas does is it produces this thing called insulin. And okay, when you think of sugar, you think of the white powdery grains, right? But actually everything has sugar in it. Bread has sugar in it, pasta, everything, fruit. And it's not the same thing as that kind of sugar. It's a different type of sugar. And so basically all food has sugar, except, water doesn't count. Water doesn't have anything in it. I can have diet soda without having a problem. Well, okay, I can eat anything. That's another misunderstanding. There's nothing that I can't eat. The only thing is that with most things, with when I eat anything that's not cheese, water, and plain meat, I have to take a shot of insulin. Because what happened was my body attacked itself. It attacked its pancreas, and now my pancreas doesn't work. So my body doesn't produce insulin like most people do. So whenever I eat anything, I have to take insulin. But I can eat anything that I want, just not like a lot of it. Like I can't have like 16 pies and expect to feel fine after. But so the thing that it's called, the like bigger kind of sugar, is called carbs or carbohydrates. And things that have a lot of carbs or carbohydrates are potatoes, pasta, and bread. So like starches have a lot of carbs. So yeah. And a lot of people that think that, oh, like what did you do? Like eat too much candy? Did you eat too much chocolate? Like why? No. Diabetes isn't my fault, and there's nothing that I did that made me get diabetes. So, yeah. And I have a few stories of just people that haven't been able, or like people in my life that just really didn't understand what was happening. So, right after I was diagnosed in 6th grade when I was 11, I came back from school, and at first, I was kind of in denial that I had diabetes. Because think about it. 11 years of my life, I went being completely normal with no signs of bad health, and I ate super healthy, and I could eat whatever I want, and I was just a normal kid. And then all of a sudden, these doctors say, you have a disease, and you got to do all this stuff, and you're only like 11 years old. So at first, I was like, Mom, are you going to actually believe them? I don't have that. That's crazy. Like, they're lying. Obviously, they're lying. So I was kind of in denial at first. But after a while, you kind of get used to it, and I'm really open about it. And I was really open about it, too, like, back then. But after I told a bunch of people, some people were, like, really curious and just didn't really understand at all. And I remember this one kid being like, wait a second. You have diabetes, but, like, you're not fat. And was like really confused about it. Well, the thing is, you're right, I'm not fat. Thank you, that's amazing. But yeah, not all diabetics are fat. Okay, let me explain type 2. Type 2 is when you overeat and you don't exercise enough. And you overeat so much and you put so much fat on your body that it basically like chokes your pancreas. Like your pancreas can't deal with all that, and it can't keep up with how much you're eating. And after a while, it stops working. But if you start being healthy again quick enough, you can totally cure it. So it's when you kind of caused it, but you can fix it. With mine, I didn't do anything to cause it, and I also can't fix it. There's no cure. So as of right now, with what science is doing, I'm kind of stuck with this for the rest of my life. So yeah, that's one thing. And I've had people that have invited me to birthday parties and stuff and been like, oh my god, I'm like really sorry, but like I didn't like get any cake or candy or anything because like I wasn't sure if you could have that, and I wanted to be considerate. And that's nice that you were trying to consider me, but FYI, diabetics can eat whatever they want. So kind of disappointed because I really like cake and I really like candy. Not gonna be a really fun party. Yeah. But just like other things that people know can be sensitive for some people, like cancer or racism or stereotypes, there's a lot of stuff that goes along with diabetes that is similar to that. And it depends on the diabetic, but sometimes things can be really offensive. And I'm sure you've probably seen jokes online like, if Bob had 3 pizzas and he ate all of them all at once, what does he have now? And it's like, diabetes, ha ha ha, it's so funny. It's really not to people who actually have diabetes when they didn't cause it and there's nothing they can do about it. It really hurts your feelings because you're already struggling with people asking you all these questions about it and being like, why are you stabbing yourself? Stop. And you're trying to explain that you can't stop because if you do, you might die. So there's already so many challenges with it that making jokes like that really hurt because we're trying so hard already. And we've been really strong, but people who say that kind of stuff really aren't helping. And I know that people don't understand, and that's why. It's not like they're doing it on purpose, but that's why I wanted to make this video. And diabetics should do more stuff like this to educate people. Because if you don't educate people, then it's not going to help fix anything. And I've heard people say, like, people who have been, like, offered food or stuff will be like, no, I don't want to have that. I don't want to get diabetes. Ha ha ha, wow, I'm so funny. I told a joke. No, that's like a racist joke or something to me. I don't want to hear that. I wish I could say that. I wish I could be someone who didn't understand diabetes and didn't have to be weighed down by this, by having to do math every day, every single time that you eat. And remember at night to take your medication, and remember every single time to take your medication, take the right amount. And if you're low, you have to eat something and remember. And then if you ate too much for your low, then you have to take more insulin and do more math. But what if you messed up and then you went low again? Or what if you messed up and didn't take enough and now you're high? It's so much work. It's so much stuff to do. I don't want to hear people saying like, haha, I don't want diabetes. Well, I don't either, but there's nothing I can do. Stop reminding me that there's nothing I can do and that it's not going to get a cure. Thanks. And okay, there's this huge debate happening with diabetics right now. And I'm not really sure how I feel about it, to be honest. It's basically between people that get offended when you say that they're diabetic, or if you say you're a person with diabetes, you know what I mean? Like, I guess some diabetics can be offended by people that say or address them as diabetic instead of a person with diabetes or that has diabetes. Honestly, I don't care because the English language kind of works that way. Like, if you're an athlete, you're athletic. If you have diabetes, you're diabetic. That's kind of how the English language works. So I know I'm a diabetic. I'm also a person with diabetes, which means I'm a diabetic. I don't really care, but what I would be offended by is if someone called me diabetes, because I've actually heard that quite a lot before, like, hey, diabetes, what's up? No, I don't want to be diabetes. That's horrible. That's like saying, haha, you're cancer. You kill children. Like, no, I'm me. I'm Serbear. Hi. I'm not some disease, and you can't just go around calling me that just because I have it. That's not how it works. So, yeah, just some things I wanted to clear up, and I think there's probably some more questions that people who don't have diabetes might have. So if you do have any questions, then tell me, because I'd really be happy to answer them. And again, I think if diabetics are secretive about it or stuff like that, it's not going to help any of those things that people struggle with. So I think the best thing to do is just answer people's questions as much as you can and try to educate people, because that's all you really can do with diabetes. So I hope this was helpful and educational, and I'll try to get around to making that video about what real love is. And also, this was the video that we wanted to make that would be inspired by diabetic Danica. Is what's it like to be the best friend of a diabetic? Because me and Anna have a lot of stories to share that have to do with diabetes, and she was kind of the person that was there for me when I was diagnosed at first, was there to support me when I really needed it. And she has a lot of strong feelings about what that was like in the beginning, so I thought it would be great to have that sort of story video thing. So yeah. Bye, bears.